Good evening, one and all. It is day 93 of a poem a day for 2026. It is Good Friday, and time has run away from me today. I had illusions of grandeur, which in this case involved me getting up at a reasonable time, going to do my food shopping, coming home, and chilling out. What actually happened was I woke up at around 10, doom scrolled, and sat frozen for a while. Dealt with some admin stuff, and left to go shopping at just before 3 o'clock. Between doing the shopping, getting it home, and unpacking it, and putting it all away, I was done by about 6:30. I do one big monthly shop, so that's now me done for April. So yeah. And then I proceeded to zone out for a bit, and then I was like, oh, poem. And it's now just after 7. So I'm hoping I can get this done and dusted and get this up on time. Especially as I was so late yesterday. I also realised that I gave the wrong day number yesterday. I really wasn't with it. Marking yesterday as day 91, even though Wednesday was day 91. This is definitely day 93. So yeah, we're here. If you've had today off, because it's a bank holiday, I hope that it's been either more productive or more chilled, or whatever. I hope you've had a good day. If you've been working, I hope it's not been too stressful. If you're working in retail, I hope people haven't lost their heads too much. I know that stores being closed for a day tends to make people a bit manic. Not manic, just ridiculous, I think is probably more accurate. And even sometimes with the slightly shorter opening hours of a bank holiday, people might get a bit panicky. It's unnecessary, but here we are. However, let's see what poetry there is for us today. Let's hope it's not something that we've read recently. I couldn't believe that when I saw that on Wednesday afternoon. So yeah, but okay. We have a piece from an anonymous author today, and it's entitled "Who Killed Cock Robin?" And our blurb reads as follows. Robert Walpole became Britain's first Prime Minister on this day in 1721. He was in power until 1742, the longest-serving Prime Minister in British history. But he eventually fell from power after a group of detractors rose against him. It is popularly thought that these lines relate to Walpole's downfall. Despite the bloody theme of the song, which is featured in many novels and murder mysteries, there is a childlike quality to the short lines and neat rhymes. I'm not going to attempt to offer any kind of tune to this, because in my head immediately they've mentioned murder mysteries and childlike rhymes, and I've thought of some really like the first thing that came to mind was some kind of creepy children's nursery rhyme. So that's going to haunt me, and I hope it doesn't haunt you too much, but I'm not going to try and imitate that. So this is Who Killed Cock Robin by an anonymous author. Who killed Cock Robin? I, said the sparrow, with my little bow and arrow. I killed Cock Robin. Who saw him die? I, said the fly. With my little eye, I saw him die. Who'll dig his grave? I, said the owl. With my spade and my shovel, I'll dig his grave. Who'll be parson? I, said the rook. With my little book, I'll be the parson. Who'll be chief mourner? I, said the dove. For I mourn the love, I shall be chief mourner. Who'll sing a psalm? I, said the thrush. As I sit in a bush, I'll sing a psalm. Who'll carry the coffin? I, said the kite. If it's not in the night, I'll carry the coffin. Who'll toll the bell? I, said the bull. Because I can pull, I'll toll the bell. All the birds of the air fell sighing and sobbing when they heard the bell toll for the poor cock robin. Ooh, that's given me full body goosebumps. Yeah, that was quite, goodness, that was quite nursery rhyme-ish. I now kind of want to research the downfall of the first Prime Minister of Britain. I feel like that's a story waiting to be told. It always feels a bit weird to say this, but I am a fan of true crime. It's something that's always interested me. I have a very vivid memory of being quite a small child, and getting a book off my mum's bookshelf in the living room, and being sat on the living room floor with this, it was like a big hardback, like nearly sort of A1 size book, and just flipping through, just looking at the pictures, and my mum comes into the living room. She's like, "What are you reading?" And I was like, "Book." I don't know how old I was. Probably somewhere between like a toddler and school age. And it was entitled something like Britain's Worst Serial Killers. My mum was very much into was very interested in true crime. She had loads of Patricia Cornwell's books, and I remember for birthdays and Mother's Day and Christmas, I would buy her whatever was the most recently released Martina Cole book. I remember she was a fantastic author. Wrote a lot about strong women having generally pretty awful lives. Lots of abuse, and I think there was some murder in there as well. Fictional stories as far as I'm aware. But yeah, the Mother's Day I would present her a bouquet of flowers, a box of chocolates, and "Here, Mum, here's this new really traumatic book that you've been wanting," and she'd be overjoyed. But yeah, and I remember I tried to get into Patricia Cornwell, and I really struggled to find what the first book was, because I have a thing about chronology, so I have to read stuff in order. I couldn't just pick something up, and I couldn't find this. Showing my age, this was before Google, so you couldn't just Patricia Cornwell's books in order, and it drove me absolutely bonkers, because every book I'd start reading, and then it would reference something in a previous book, and I'd be like, I need to return to them, because they were good, but I just, yeah. And then at some point she released a book that was basically her theory on Jack the Ripper, which included crime scene photos. yes, they had crime scene photos from the 1800s. I've still got it somewhere. It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant book. I probably read that when I was 15, 16. Yeah, absolutely fascinating, and yeah, I've always just been very intrigued, and still now I spend most of my days listening to true crime podcasts, and I watch a lot of crime dramas and crime documentaries and the like. Excuse me. So yeah, very interested by that. That was a heck of a tangent that I didn't expect to take. And possibly not as a relaxing end to the day as maybe we'd hoped. But an interesting piece. I do love that we've had some very interesting pieces, and I hope that we continue to have interesting pieces. So, on that note, I will bring things to a close there so I can get this wrapped up, uploaded, and shared with you all. Whatever you're doing on this Good Friday evening, until tomorrow, I will wish you a good